What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Now, a lot of times I just come here, I recap a video, tell you what goes on, leave it at that. I'm going to do a little bit more than that today because I think there's something here that we have to discuss. Anytime you hear Amber talk about Chantal or Chantal talk about Amber, they kind of lead on that they communicate. And while I'm not going to sit here and say that I do know this, I have a feeling that they more than likely do contact each other when things are going awry. Things for Amberlynn Reid have definitely been going in a negative direction. There's a lot of the community talking about communication with her mother. There's a lot of communication between her and Tommy. There's a lot of content being made. And if there's one thing that Amber is good at, is that she knows how to capitalize on that drama for herself. She'll come online, she'll do Q&As, she'll put up content that's very vague. So the fact that she had not been posting even was catching me off guard. A lot of people have said, why don't you do more than just Chantal? And I was like, well, I'd love to cover Amber, but she's not making content right now. So obviously this post goes up today. And this goes hand in hand with the fact that 300,000 views, which is at minimum one video. There's been some speculation it was a video of her having a rotisserie chicken from a couple years ago, but that video is now gone, apparently, with those views. And there's been a meaningful amount of time that has passed where Amber has not been posting. Now, how does this tie into Chantal? Well, if you recall, Chantal had been going live for multiple hours a day to the point that a lot of people said, hey, it seems like she's kind of setting windows for herself. I need to stay online 2 hours, 3 hours. Sala would come in and ask. She would announce to Sala, this is how long I've been on. And then all of a sudden, that ceased. And she said, hey, I'm just going to do recorded content. And we get videos today, like the one I'm about to talk to you about, that is very edited. It's very broken up. It's very segmented. But it's also very drawn out. It's also very repetitive. It's also things we've all heard before. It would be, if you were a content creator, what I would just determine to be a, quote, safe video, right? These are all things I've said before, never had any problems, and I'm going to say them again, and I won't expect there to be any issues. Now, why would that be? Could Amber have really had this issue where a video got taken down and communicated to Chantal and said, hey, listen, you need to be mindful of what you're saying, because this is what happened to me. And Chantal said, well, hey, I better not go live anymore because I really can't control what happens when I go online and the things that I say. So I'll just stick to these pre-recorded videos and make sure that everything is kind of as clean and tight as I can keep it. That's really something that I think is very likely happening. So Chantal comes online today, says that she's down 2 pounds, but she's not in a big rush. She talks about how it's a lifestyle change and the progress is going to be slow. She, of course, revisits her entire medical history. She highlights this desire she has to reverse all the conditions she has by building this health plan, this eating plan. She revisits books that she's talked about continually, overcoming her bed, programs she's attempted in the past, medication she's been put on that was unsuccessful. She focuses on how they hurt her stomach, they hurt her mentals, and that she can't be consistent with them in that state. She says right now, the current course is minute by minute. She focuses on overcoming urges as they appear and then moves forward. She talks about snacks like fruits to circumvent these cravings. And she really pushes back against the community and says that, people are just trying to bring her down and how sad it is. She said that based on how sedentary she's been, that 10 minutes on a treadmill is a huge accomplishment for her, and that she's just going to take aim at greater and greater time on the treadmill and eventually work her way up to do things that she never could. She goes on to talk about how even if we don't see it, she feels it. Her clothes are fitting looser. And all of this is being done, of course, without counting calories, and that she feels that she can use, quote, a few inches a week. I don't know if you can lose that type of weight or that type of size, but if she wants to proclaim that she is, so be it. She says that she was attempting to use MyFitnessPal, and she talks about the limitations and restrictions that it provided, 1,600 calories, and this caused her to panic. She says that with that guideline, she could only have 2 meals and 1 snack, and she was left hungry. She also talks very disparagingly about fasting and how it's not proper for her, how she has to eat every few hours. And by doing this, she feels it's repairing her relationship with food. She validates this by the fact that last night she was hungry and she had a tuna sandwich. She goes on to talk about what she refers to as, quote, food noise and how she must avoid it. The food noise is apparently kind of a craving that she gets that overwhelms her to the point that she has nothing else to do but give into it. And she says that right now what she's doing is manageable. And she can validate this by the fact that she stayed on course for the last week. And she also says that a big part of this is all of a sudden now she really wants to change. Now she really wants to go to amusement parks and go on all the rides, which, I can give that a little bit because we did see her go to Thailand. We did see her want to get on that haunted attraction. She tried to get on it. They said no. So the fact that she didn't specifically bring that up and instead said, oh, I just want to be able to go to amusement parks and get on every ride until I get sick. I want to be able to walk from one part of town to the other like I used to when I was younger. I want to go to a restaurant and not have to worry about whether they have tables or booths and how comfortable I'm going to be. I want to be able to go to stores and buy, quote, regular clothes. But didn't connect any of that to, hey, just, in Thailand, I ran into all these hurdles, all these obstacles that prevented me from enjoying my trip. And I never want to put myself, or more importantly, my partner in a situation where we're going somewhere and I am the reason that we can't do things. Everything is just very broad brushed, very vague. And of course, she continually comes back to reaction channels and she says, her weight has been proven by multiple scales and only people that are immature would question this. And that it's not going to impact her whether Salah has time from Vandalay Fragrance to film her or not. I think overall, what we're seeing here is two people, right, that have had a lot of success financially on this platform. And I think slowly they're seeing that a change has to happen, be it for their health or be it for their content. And it really would not surprise me if Amber didn't reach out to Chantal and say, listen, this is what I'm going through on my channel. You need to protect yourself because it could easily happen to you. Because to be honest, if you just go look, recency bias to a degree, Amber is putting out far less eating content than Chantal is. And then all of a sudden, Chantal decides, oh, well, this is the time I'm really going to stick to everything. This is the time I'm really not going to film myself eating as much. Go back to the video, the cheat day. She pulls out a whole tray of French fries. And then when we see her, she only eats 3 or 4. She only eats 2 pieces of chicken. That's a stark contrast from what she'd been doing in the past. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think that, in a way, I don't know any other term to use than the MTV term scared straight? Do you think that something has happened where maybe Chantal realizes, hey, this is the end of the road for the way I've been making content and the way I've been living my life, and now I have nothing else to do but to latch on to change and progress forward. But oh, by the way, I can't let go of that drama because ultimately the drama is what generates more views than anything else. So if I come on and I talk about my weight and I show these edited images where I profess that I'm losing inches in a week, people will have something to talk about. Maybe it'll reinvigorate interest in my channel. I don't know. But I'm sure you have an idea or an opinion that you'll share. And if you do, I could leave your comment with the top comments from the last video on the next video, when I will be back as soon as I can with more commentary.